Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is finally on the way, releasing later this year. To say it's been a long wait is an understatement. It's arriving at a great time, with it releasing the same year as the Switch 2, and I'm really excited. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that Prime 4's release is an important one. I love the Metroid series and believe the success of Prime 4 is essential for many reasons, some being for the Metroid series specifically, and others towards Nintendo overall. It's always fun talking about Metroid, and I'm all for talking about Prime 4. The Metroid series has gone through a renaissance over the last near decade. 2017, Samus Returns revived the series, Dread was a blast and I've played it like 6 times, Prime was a joy to play again on the Switch, and Prime 4 gave me chills when it was revealed. A game series that got stale in the early 2010s and was revived in 2017. Where have I seen this before? That said, all of these games are 2D entries or remakes/remasters. The Prime trilogy is of course in 3D, and it uses its 3D environments to create these unique, incredibly rich worlds that prioritize player immersion rather than high-octane gameplay like the mainline 2D games. Like I said, I absolutely love 2D Metroid, but no other Metroidvania captures the same magic as the Prime series. I would love to be taken aback by a beautiful world that encourages me to explore its environment instead of blazing through it. Having to actively uncover the narrative through scanning journal entries, all with a gorgeous accompanying soundtrack to boot, is unmatched. That said, I also don't want to wait another potential decade for the next amazing 3D Metroidvania. Believe it or not, this subgenre of Metroidvanias is actually rare. They exist for sure, with Castlevania's Lament of Innocence and Curse of Darkness, and the Jedi Fallen games borrowing elements from 3D Metroidvania. But not only are these thin and few, these games prioritize the fast-paced gameplay rather than the grandiose, slower-paced immersion. Just imagine if the success of Metroid Prime 4 finally pushed this style of 3D Metroidvanias into the mainstream, and other developers finally gave us their takes on the genre. There's so much untapped potential that I would love to see come to life. How amazing would it be to see a game set in a different time period, or even a spin-off in an established game series? Gameplay-wise, imagine the unique gameplay mechanics other studios could create. Metroid Prime 4 has shown off Samus's telekinetic powers, so just think how that could be taken to the next level in another 3D Metroidvania, or a brand new mechanic never seen before. This explosion of games has been done beautifully in 2D Metroidvanias with Blasphemous, Hollow Knight, Dead Cells even throwing in roguelike elements to name a few, and the success of Metroid Prime 4 could finally recreate this new wave in the 3D space. The Switch 2 is expensive. That's not necessarily a controversial take. Despite the complaints on its pricing though, damn, the console sales popped off. A lot of people bought it, though I and a bunch of people I know did not. You know why that is? A reason that even Switch 2 owners acknowledge: the game catalog is pretty low right now. We've got Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza by the time you see this video, and who knows when Kirby Air Riders will drop. Throwing Metroid Prime 4 into the mix would bolster the catalog, and Metroid is a pillar Nintendo series that always makes a Nintendo console's library more reputable. Heck, look at what previous Metroids did for earlier consoles. Super Metroid is often regarded as one of the best games released on the SNES, Metroid Prime is seen as the exact same for the GameCube, and Dread came out swinging for the Switch, even getting nominated for 2021 Game of the Year. If Prime 4 continues this trend, it would do wonders for the Switch 2, finally pushing those more reluctant to grab a Switch 2 into finally buying one. And sure, you could make this argument for multiple Nintendo series like Zelda and Smash, but there's no new game in those series in sight, and we've been itching for Prime 4 for years now, which leads into the next reason why success is paramount. It's impossible to discuss Metroid Prime 4's release without mentioning the unbelievable gap between the game's release and that of Metroid Prime 3 Corruptions. I first played the Prime trilogy in 2015, and I've been waiting for Metroid Prime 4 for a decade now. You know when the last Prime game released though? 2007. So everyone who played Corruption on release have been waiting for almost 20 years. For anyone not in the know, Metroid Prime 4 was first teased in 2017, and Eurogamer reported it was being developed by Bandai Namco. 2 years into development, Nintendo's Shinya Takahashi informed fans that development of Metroid Prime 4 had not reached the standards Nintendo seeks in a sequel to the Metroid Prime series. As a result, development was restarted, with Metroid Prime series veterans Retro Studios now helming its development. This is a huge reason why a Prime follow-up has taken so long, and it's not the first time Nintendo has taken years to release a follow-up in a series. We've seen this in the Donkey Kong series, with DK Returns releasing years after a prior entry. Poor Pikmin 4 took 10 years after Pikmin 3, and even mainline Metroid took 19 years for Dread to follow up Fusion, like damn! All that said, each of these games were phenomenal entries despite their lengthy release windows. Say what you want about Nintendo's prices or gaps in game entries, they do prioritize quality, just as they explicitly stated they're doing with Prime 4. Prime 4's success will solidify Nintendo's stance on quality, whatever it takes, as well as of course making the long wait worth it. Now, aside from the game itself, the Prime series' story left us on a mysterious cliffhanger. Minor spoilers for Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, by the way, skip to this timestamp to avoid anything. Also, now is a great time to play through the Prime games before Prime 4 comes out, so make sure you do that first. Alright, now back to the cliffhanger. If you did a 100% playthrough of Corruption, you'll have seen the secret ending with the ship that follows Samus as she flies off. Turns out the pilot of this ship is in fact the Hunter Sylux, first introduced in Metroid Prime Hunters, and is the main villain of Metroid Prime 4. We briefly saw him again at the end of Federation Force, and while it did kind of progress the overall Prime series plot, it didn't follow up on Corruption's cliffhanger. Metroid fans have been eager to find out what Sylux's plans have been for years, and if they don't deliver with this villain, then damn, what a disappointing 18-year wait that would be. The Metroid series is a testament that a game series can always make a triumphant comeback and innovate on its genre. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond has struggled for years to see the light of day, and to see it finally be so close after 18 years of difficulties overcome is so exciting and liberating. If Metroid Prime Remastered was a teaser for what's to come for 3D Metroid, then Metroid Prime 4 will make waves very soon. I really care about the Metroid series and want to see it succeed, and in many ways, it needs to. Anyhow, that's gonna wrap it up here. I'm Bilal with Game Rant, thanks for watching, and here's hoping for the best for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.